Hi guys, so for today's lesson, we would be discussing lesson 2 of the Minano Nihongo textbook. So in the previous lesson, we've discussed the most basic sentence pattern. But for this lesson, we would be discussing another sentence pattern, which is basically more on the demonstrative pronouns. This, that, and those. For grammar explanation, I would be speaking Tagalog and English respectively to make the lesson easier to comprehend. So, hajimamasho. Let's start the lesson, minasan. Kore, sore, are. Referring to things. Kore refers to a thing near the speaker. Sore refers to a thing far from the speaker and near the listener. Are refers to a thing far from both the speaker and listener. So, yung kore, if something is, usually pag may nag-uusap na tao, dalawa lang yan. The speaker, yung nagsasalita, and listener, yung kausap niya. So, yung kore, ginagamit siya if mas malapit yung bagay dun sa nagsasalita. Yung sore, ginagamit siya pag mas malapit yung bagay dun sa kausap. And then lastly, yung are, parehong malayo sa speaker at saka sa listener yung gamit. So, the same siya with the principle ng noun 1, noun 2, des. But, ang difference lang for this lesson is, instead of noun 1, it's either kore, sore, or are. It's still followed by the particle wa, which is spelled as HA. So, Ray, or example, what is that? How do you ask what in Japanese? You say nan desu ka. So, in this sentence, the notebook is near the listener. So, mas malapit siya sa kausap. So, sasabihin nung speaker, sore wa nan desu ka? In the next sentence, actually dapat kore wa to eh. Kasi siya na yung may hawak ng notebook. Pero let's just say, siguro magkaibang tao to. Mas malapit yung notebook pa rin dun sa kausap. So, sore wa noto desu. So, the same question but different pattern. Ginamit yung kore wa because the pencil is near the speaker, not the listener. So, kore wa nan desu ka? Kore wa enpitsu desu. So, what is this? Hawak mo na yung pencil, tinatanong mo, ano to? Kore wa nan desu ka? Kore wa nan desu ka? Hawak mo ulit yung pencil. Gusto mong sabihin sa mga tao na pencil ito. Kore wa enpitsu desu. So, pagsamahin natin yung natutunan natin from lesson 1 sa lesson 2. For example, you're telling the people na this is an iPhone. So, cell phone in Japanese is ketai denwa. I could say, kore wa iPhone no ketai denwa desu. So, this is an iPhone. What is that thing over there? So, ano yun? Parehong malayo sa speaker and listener, we say, are wa nan desu ka? And then, sinasabi mo na computer yung bagay na yun. It's a computer. The computer is far from both the speaker and the listener. You say, are wa computer desu. Or, computer kasi, it's computer. Pero pwede rin yung personal computer, pasukon. So, pwede mo ring sabihin, are wa pasukon desu. So, kono noun, sono noun, ano noun. It's the same rule with kore, sore, and are. So, pag kono, mas malapit sa speaker. Sono, mas malapit sa listener. Ano, parehong malayo sa dalawa. So, before yung wa, nadagdagan lang to ng name. So, kono, kunwari, kono, noto wa, sono, noto wa. So, nadagdagan siya ng noun or pangalan ng bagay. So, this pencil is mine. Mas malapit sa akin yung pencil, so I would say, kono en pitsu wa watashi no desu. Kono en pitsu wa watashi no desu. This pencil is mine. That person is Mr. Miller. Ang person in Japanese is hito, so ang nagsasalita dito, mas malapit sa kausap niya si Mr. Miller. So, he would say, sono hito wa Mira-san desu. Sono hito wa Mira-san desu. That thing over there, which is a bag, is Furuta's bag. Ano kaban wa Furuta-san no kaban desu. Ano kaban wa Furuta-san no kaban desu. That thing over there is Mr. Furuta's bag. Or that bag over there is Mr. Furuta's bag. So, how do you agree and how do you disagree? So, yes, tama. Tama. Parang sa Tagalog, kunwari may kausap ka, yan ba yung restaurant na gusto mo? Pwede mo sabihin, instead of hi, you say hi, so this. Or hindi yan. Ie, so jarimasen. Is that a magazine? Sore wa zashi desu ka? So, notice na nagdagdag tayo ng KA to make it a question. Sore wa zashi desu ka? Yes, it is. So, you say, hi, so desu. No, it is not. Ie, so ja arimasen. No, it is not. Pwede ring ie, chigaimasu. So, it's shorter but it's the same. You disagree. No, that's wrong in English. So, paano kung pinapapili ka from two options? You're being asked to choose from two options. This sentence pattern is usually used pag, kunwari, kumakain ka, nag-o-offer ka. Gusto mo siyang tanongin, anong gusto mo? Coffee or tea? Or me? Hindi. So, coffee or tea? So, you say, kohi desu ka? O cha desu ka? Pero kung gusto mong isama yung sarili mo, watashi desu ka? So, how do you say coffee, tea, or me in Japanese? You say, kohi desu ka, ocha desu ka, watashi desu ka? So, kahit anong option mo, kahit mapagod ka, kahit apat yung option mo, this is the simplest way to ask kung ano yung gusto. This is not answerable by a simple yes or no. So, kunwari tinatanong ka, what do you like more? Toyota or Subaru? So, Toyota desu ka? Subaru desu ka? Or, ano mas gusto mo? Kotse o bahay? So, kunwari bibilin ka, pinapapili ka, kuruma desu ka? Uchi desu ka? So, you use this sentence pattern. Or, anong gusto mo? Cake or ice cream? What do you like? Cake or ice cream? Keki desu ka? Ice cream desu ka? So, the same principle goes with colors. Anong gusto mo? Pink or red? So, pink desu ka? Akai desu ka? So, in the sentence, gamitin natin yung sentence ka pattern. So, is that a dictionary or a book? Sore wa, because it's near the listener. Sore wa jisho desu ka? Hon desu ka? Yan ba ay libro or dictionary? Since libro yon, you say, it is a book. So, hon desu. So, we've discussed in lesson 1 yung noun 1 and noun to. So, anong difference ng dalawa? Ay, ano ang gamit nitong no? Aside from ownership, di ba sinabi ko, to avoid confusion, you think of no as apostrophe S. But in this one, pwede siyang gamitin kung tungkol saan ba tong noun to. No? Hindi siya laging ownership. So, what kind na no? Noun 1, explain who owns noun 2. Pwede rin dareno. Kanino ba tong bagay na to? So, example, madaming magazines na iba-iba yung functions. Merong magazines for beauty, may magazines, food magazine. But this magazine in sentence 1 is specifically about television. So you say, kore wa terebi no sashi desu. This is about television. Parang ganun yung sinasabi mo. So sa same sentence, paano kung it's about flamingos? So, kore wa flamingo no sashi desu. Paano kung tungkol siya sa makeup? Kore wa makeup no sashi desu. Paano kung tungkol siya sa life? So, kore wa raifu no sashi desu. The same principle. So, how do you say, what kind of magazine is this? Kore wa nan no sashi desu ka? Pero kung tinatanong mo kung kanino tong magazine, papalitan mo yung nan ng dare. Kore wa dare no sashi desu ka? So, sasagutin mo, sasabihin mo, ito ay sa akin, kore wa watashi no sashi desu. This ballpen is my ballpen. Kono boropen wa watashi no boropen desu. Kono boropen wa watashi no boropen desu. Or another example, pencil naman. Kono enpitsu wa watashi no enpitsu desu. Kunwari phone, kono denwa wa watashi no denwa desu. This is my room. Kono heya wa watashi no heya desu. So, the same pattern, you just remove the words, palitan nyo ng gagamitin nyo. So, how do you say, like what I've said earlier, paano papalitan ng what is this ballpen, ng who owns this ballpen, papalitan mo yung nan ng dareno. So, kono ballpen wa dareno desu ka? Pero kung gusto mong tanungin, ano tong ballpen na to, paano mo siya tatanungin? Sasabihin mo, kono ballpen wa nan no desu ka? Or nan desu ka? So, nan no, saan ba ginagamit? Ang nan no kasi, ang parang function niya, saan ginagamit tong ballpen na to, para saan to kasi. Pero pag nan, ano tong bagay na to? So, yun ang pagkakaiba when you have the no. So, we have a summary. So, no, aside from ownership, yung sa lesson number 1 natin, laging tatandaan, noun 1 is bigger than noun 2. But for this lesson, it's not necessarily bigger than, noun 1 is not necessarily bigger than noun 2, pero noun 2 is about noun 1. So, what kind? Nan no? Who owns? Dare no? So, in exams, specifically designed to check yung comprehension nyo sa reading, it's very important na yung mga questions natin, nababasa natin. Saka alam natin yung iba-ibang functions like dare, nan, doshte, para we would not be confused in answering the questions in the exams. So, yun. So, we'll proceed with lesson 3. Basically, it's the same principle with lesson 1, lesson 2. So, for lesson number 3, we have doko, soko, asoko. Anong difference ng it's the same? Iba lang siya ng direction. Doko is koko pala. Koko, soko, asoko. Koko, if the place is near the speaker. Soko, the place is near the listener. And asoko, parehong malayo sa magkausap. Kunwari tinuturo nila yung lugar na yon, bangko yun. So, asoko wa ginko desu. Paano kung nagsasalita ako, katabi ko is the bank? Sinasabi ko sa kausap ko, mas malapit sa akin yung bangko. I would say, koko wa ginko desu. Mas malapit sa kausap ko yung bank, I would say, soko wa ginko desu. Parang sinasabi mo sa kausap mo, yung katabi mo, bangko yan. Pag parehong malayo, asoko wa ginko desu. So, the same. We have the polite form of the verbs of the words koko, soko, and asoko. Polite form of koko is kochira. Kochira. Siyempre, pag kunwari, boss mo yung kausap mo, instead of saying koko wa ginko desu, pwede mong sabihin kochira wa ginko desu. Or sochira wa ginko desu. Or achira wa ginko desu. So, it's the same. Mas magalang lang yung kochira, sochira, achira. So, the same with the principle in the kore, sore, and are. Ko, near the speaker. So, near the listener. A, far from both the speaker and the listener. How do you ask direction in Japanese? You say, if you're talking to someone of the same age, or you're talking to a normal person, you could use doko desu ka. But if you want it to be more polite because of age difference, and if you're talking to someone who is ahead of you, normally sa mga boss nyo, you say dochira desu ka. Or kahit sa friends mo, talagang magalang ka lang. And you don't want to be confused anymore, it's okay. You could use the polite form. It doesn't matter. Kunwari, you're talking to your friend na kasing age mo lang, it's better din naman to use the more the polite form, the dochira desu ka, instead of doko desu ka. But whatever you use, it's the same. So, thank you. That's lesson number 2 and 3. So, tatandaan nyo lang, huwag nyo kakalimutan ko, so, diba? Sobrang dali lang. It's so easy. Easy to learn. Pero parang masasabi mo, bakit ganun? Parang different lang yung closeness o proximity ng isang bagay. Nagbabago agad yung spelling ng mga words in Japanese. So, let's just say na it's the equivalent of this, that, and yung that thing over there, or those things over there, to make it easier. So, yun. So, warimasho. So, kyotsuke kudasai. Thank you, and otsukaresama deshita. So, see you sa lesson number 4.